That kind of slushy mess for sure. If you woke up early enough and you looked outside, again, I was looking out about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Everything was white. It was a winter wonderland, looked real pretty, had about an inch of snow. At that point, it was probably more like a 3/4 of an inch. Still snowed for about another hour before I started seeing rain mix in at my house. Probably pretty similar to you, except if you're in the Poconos, you hung on to snow for perhaps the duration of the event north of the Lehigh Tunnel for the majority of the event. 40 degrees, our daytime high, 37. So many of you had to go out, and I saw a lot of folks kind of getting that slush off your driveway. And, you know, for those of you that didn't, especially if you've got a flat driveway, you know, you may want to consider doing that. If there's any slush lingering, temperatures are going to drop down a little bit below the freezing mark tonight. So any standing water, that's probably the bigger concern. But we didn't have a ton of wind around during the day. The winds will pick up, though, as we go throughout the evening hours. 24 degrees, your low this morning, and you can see, so that was one interesting thing that we noted, that temperatures dropped. I mean, as you know, our forecast was supposed to be around 28, 29 degrees. It was abundantly clear late last night and we kept lowering our overnight low. We lowered it, got it eventually down into the mid-20s, and for good reason. So when that precipitation came in, it really came into cold air here at the surface. Aloft, of course, it was cold enough to support snow. Look at Honesdale, and look it up here. A little bit of light yet. Again, interesting to note, just a little bit more daylight than what we had just a couple of weeks ago. 36 degrees, winds out of the southwest, 7 miles per hour, and you can see throughout the region. Again, Mount Pocono, you're already below the freezing mark, so again, any standing water, good amount of snow there, but you're going to be talking about icing up, back up, so be on guard there. Even though temperatures did get a little bit above the freezing mark, the rest of us will drop a couple of degrees down to or below the freezing mark. During the day tomorrow, those strong winds we're talking about, that'll continue to pick up here throughout the overnight into your day tomorrow. It's going to, the Great Lakes still, relatively speaking, warm, and so as those very cold winds sweep over the relatively warm waters, picks up some of that water, scoops it up, and deposits it typically on the lee side or east side of the Great Lakes. In this particular case, the winds will be so strong that maybe 3 or 4 times a year you can actually see some snow bands. Very, very narrow. Certainly flurries the opportunity for some snow bands to develop, but may not be just limited to just on the east and south side of the Great Lakes. Could actually see some of those very narrow bands make it all the way down into eastern Pennsylvania. Look at this model suggesting 2 p.m. right from Hazleton down through Somerville. Now, all it would take is for, you know, maybe that to shift a little further south or another band to develop, and perhaps a very narrow area, and it could snow, and you could end up getting a quick coating inch or 2 in some spots, but very localized effects. So we'll keep an eye on that. We got to watch that, because if we get a snow band like that, that could see some slick conditions developing quickly. 30, turning windy, and that wind will start to dry things out, but if you've got standing water, it could freeze. 30, temperatures getting below the freezing mark. 39, quite windy, and that's going to be a big call tomorrow. Again, snow shower, snow squall around. If you see a snow squall and you're driving, be on guard, because, you know, those snow squalls can almost be blinding if we would happen to get one. So be aware of that. I bet best chances in the northern half of our viewing area. Then as we get into New Year's Eve night, there's the possibility of just a little wintry mix. Temperatures are going to be a little bit above the freezing mark, but there's going to be some areas that could be cold enough that there could be some slippery spots. So please be on guard. We'll keep you posted on that as a cool front slides through our area. Perhaps a little bit of rain later Sunday night, Monday. I think Monday into Tuesday, probably a better chance for some rain. Our next cold front comes through on Tuesday, but temperatures